Buying your first home here in Arizona, don't sign anything until you've watched this video. These 10 tips could save you thousands or even your dream home when buying here in Arizona. Whether you're buying from out of state or upgrading from a rental, this guide is going to save you some serious stress. Number one is skipping your pre-approval prior to actually looking at homes. Yes, this still happens in this market, and as first-time homebuyers, sometimes people don't understand that this is the first step in the process. Before you look at any homes posted on Zillow or any other websites, you do need to contact your lender or local bank and get your pre-approval done prior to looking at any homes. This is an extremely important part of the process, so you know what you can afford and how much you qualify for in an actual mortgage when you go to buy that dream home of yours. Number two is skipping a home inspection. If your agent or seller is recommending you skip a home inspection, that is an extremely large red flag. Do not skip your home inspection, especially here in Arizona. With the weather so constantly changing and the heat in the summertime, it's extremely important for you to hire a home inspector to look at major things on the house, like the roof, or if there's any termites, or if there's any water damage around the property. Do not skip your home inspection, and if you're being recommended to skip it, you need to be represented by somebody else. Number three is ignoring HOA rules. I know this seems fairly simple, but a large majority of the properties that you buy here in Arizona are going to have an HOA associated to them. That means that you need to abide by certain regulations, such as parking on the street, no weeds in your yard. Make sure you are having your agent, your realtor, and yourself look over the CC&Rs prior to purchasing that home. The CC&Rs are going to tell you all of the major rules and regulations regarding that HOA that you're purchasing a home in, and that could tell you whether or not you can park on the street, maybe you need to rent out the house, stuff that is very important to know prior to purchasing. Number four, and I see this a lot, is misjudging commute times. Phoenix and surrounding areas are a lot more spread out than people realize they are. When you're purchasing a home, really make sure that you are doing your due diligence to make sure that that 20-30 minute drive that you may look at commuting to isn't going to be a 45-50 minute drive once you factor in rush hour, construction, and everything that goes on with Arizona highways. Number five is not researching the neighborhood. Make sure that when you are doing your due diligence for buying that house, that you check with your real estate agent, your lender, and anybody that's really local to make sure that the crime rate is low, the schools that your kids are going to be attending are highly rated schools. Make sure you're driving around the property, and I recommend that you drive around the property at different points in the day during that process of buying. So make sure you go in the morning, the afternoon, and the evening to ensure that this neighborhood is going to be one that you're satisfied with during all aspects of the day. Number six is underestimating closing costs. Closing costs here in Arizona can be rather high, related to kind of the property taxes, the HOA, and the homeowner's insurance related to actually buying a home. What people don't realize is your closing costs can be upwards of 2 to 4% depending on the program you're doing and the home that you're actually purchasing. Make sure that you are doing that due diligence with your lender up front, and if you need a seller credit to help pay for those closing costs, make sure to communicate that with your real estate agent. Number seven is forgetting about your property taxes and insurance. Fortunately, Arizona has one of the lowest percentage of property taxes here in the US, but our insurance costs have continued to rise and rather higher compared to other states. So when you're going through this process, make sure that you have factored in both ends of the cost to know what your monthly payment's going to look like. And you can check with your lender and real estate agent to know, hey, what are the property taxes on this home? And then get with them to get several different insurance brokerages to get quotes from, because you don't want to get just quotes from Allstate and State Farm. Some of these larger companies are going to have higher rates, whereas insurance brokers here in Arizona can get lower rates from other brokerages that may not be large brands like State Farm or USAA. Make sure you're doing your due diligence to make sure that monthly payment is as comfortable as it can be throughout this process. Number eight, massively important, rushing the process. Slow down. It's easy to get caught up in the process of buying a home with how the real estate agent, the lender, and everybody communicates, but this process is for you. Remember that as you go through it, that if you're finding stuff on the home inspection or if you're finding red flags throughout the process, there are other homes to look at, and there are always constantly homes coming on the market. Slow down, and if you have any uneasy feelings throughout the process, back out. Back out now, and you can start over with a new house. Slow down, don't rush the process, find the home that's right for you. Number 9 is not using a local real estate agent or a lender. Make sure when you're doing your due diligence for your lending and your financing and finding that actual home, that you find somebody that has been in the market for a while, or at least has the drive to find what you need. You can replace experience with motivation in most cases. For example, if you find a real estate agent that has been in the market for 20 years versus a brand new real estate agent that is new to the city, sometimes the brand new agent is going to have a lot more motivation, a lot more drive to find you what you actually need versus the agent that's been here for 20 years and is just recommending or going along with the flow because that's kind of what they've done for so long. Make sure you find somebody that is hyper targeted and worrying about what you need throughout this process. This goes back to not rushing the process. Find a team that is for you, that is only going to advocate for you and negotiate for you, and making sure that you feel comfortable through all aspects of this process. Number 10 is going to be directly related to new builds and new construction. Do not rush this process. Do not let the builder push you through this process. There are a lot of new construction homes throughout Arizona, and a lot of them provide incentives to buy that house. But when you're going through this process, the builder may say things like, hey, you're going to lose your deposit, or you need to rush this process. We need to close by the end of this month. This again is going back to not rushing the process. Find a builder that is going to communicate with you in all aspects of the stages. Find a real estate agent that's going to help negotiate everything throughout that and read the contract to make sure that you are not being taken advantage of at the very end. As an extra bullet point for you, when you're buying a house here in Arizona, there are a lot of pests and reptiles here. When you purchase and close on the home, make sure that you get a pest control company to come out and regularly service your property for like scorpions, ants, and other insects or reptiles that may linger around the property. All right, that's the top 10 mistakes I see homebuyers make here in Arizona. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you need help going through this process, you have questions or want to go through the pre-approval process, drop a comment below or reach out to me. Always happy to help. Thanks again for watching, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.